We'll be starting now. This is class 5 and we will be going over functions. So, functions, they're nothing too terrible. It's kind of like your life source or life essence of programming, because in your functions there's multiple ways to do them. You're able to hook up events to them, you're able to call them. They're basically, I don't want to describe it as a script in a script, but it's basically what your scripts are going to be running off of. So local function, it's kind of like defining a variable here. So let's function cheese. I use cheese a lot, so let's keep it consistent. So this can be seen as a variable, not the function. Let me explain it better. Not the word function, but this is the function. Cheese is the function. So if I were to wanted to call it, it'd be cheese. So it has really two components to it when you just look at it. It has the name, and then it has end. End is where it's kind of like an if statement of where this is gonna run every time you call it. Well, it's gonna, yeah, every time you call it, so it can run like 20 times if you call it. So you do cheese, 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 and then we print 2. So inside the end in the function, it will run. So let's run it real quick, and we'll see it prints 2 4 times. So that is how we call a function. You can see there's another thing in here, which is parameters. These aren't actually that bad. All parameters are just variables for your function. So think of a function as a toolkit and your parameters as tools inside the kit. So if we were to put another, you don't have to define variables as your parameters because they're just for your function. So hi is now a parameter. Now the parameter has no value until we give it a value. So let's do cheese. Yeah, I will in a bit. Let me just do this real quick. And so if we just input hi, and then if we want to get our function or our parameter in this, do hi, and then you're gonna see it'd be like, okay, this is confusing because you have 3 here, you have high, but all this is doing is this parameter for cheese is turning this into 3. So as we can see, it prints 3. Now, I kind of want to explain that better, so we could just do multiple parameters. So, no, that won't work. It's just you're just putting in. It could be anything here. It's like making new variables that are just for your function, like I said, but they could be named anything, and then you could put in anything you want. I probably should have made better variables. But it's gonna print randomly. I just wanted to show that. Yeah, so that's the false one, that's the true one, and then that's the false one. So, and when you click on it, you can see it highlights on which one it is. I probably should have typed all that random stuff. It just made it more confusing. But those are parameters for your functions, basically variables inside of your functions that are used. So I can't use hi out here because it's gonna highlight as incomplete. It doesn't know what hi is, so it's only usable in your function. So don't ping me. Dot parameter. No, not really. I'll teach that later. No, yeah. Also, if you ever see my text is different, that's just because of my color. Yeah, that's my color. So there's different types of ways to connect functions. So there's things called events. And basically what events are, they're so imagine the events as your power source, and then your function as your wire to connect something to something. So let's think of that real quick. So if we wanted to check every time a player joins, we would get the game service of players, and then we'd have to create a function. So local player, a local function player joined. Now, you're probably like, this doesn't do anything, but it says player joined. So what we actually have to do is hook up the function. So players.player added connect, and then we put in our function. So now we have it every time. Put in our player. So if we wanted to print player.name. So what the player added function has here. So if we go players, player added, connect function, we could see, like, this is another way to type a function. So there's two ways. I wanted to demonstrate that real quick, and then I'll explain how this parameter works. There's two ways to type a function. You can straight build it in there, or you could do one that's called. So this is its called function, and then this is just like raw setup, connecting it to a function. There's two ways. I don't know why there's really two ways. I can explain that myself because I don't know, but there's just two ways to type a function into this. So this is a calling function, and then well, this is more like you can, because I can call this player joined right here, and like I can't call this one from this variable. So this function doesn't have a variable. This one does for its name. So what this is it has a set parameter. So player added has the information of the player. So that's why I typed that right here. So this is basically input to this from this event. So these are events. Player added is an event. So if we type players, player added, you can see Roblox signal fires a player to enter the game. It is an event, and you can see how they do it here. So we have the player here parameter. We're gonna put the player here too because it's the same thing. I want you to guys see this as the same thing. So if we print player name, this is function 2. Yeah, let me put the space there. Oh, I didn't actually join the game. Hold on. Oops. Yeah, you could do either way. Some might be better to be able to be called. It's honestly just all opinion on that. I usually do this one because it's quicker workflow. I don't have to put the stuff at the bottom. But some people like to like have it organized, so like they'll do like initializing stuff, and then they'll have all their functions down here, and they could see like where they lead up to. So it's just like it can be an organization thing. So that's how you connect functions and functions and events. Let's see, what else do we have? Applying functions, different types of functions. Oh, let's do a return. Okay. Actually, no. Before we do return, we'll add numbers with functions. So let's delete this. So I want to show you more with parameters. Local function. Add together. Usually people like to do camel case. All that means is just how you're typing your letters as if it was a sentence. It'd be bottom letter first and then second letter. So together here with us. So that's how you do it. You just keep the first letter lowercase. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. But I just do that for better reading. So number 1, number 2, and then we're gonna do, okay. So these have new values right now. They're just currently variables. So we're gonna print num1 plus num2. And then we're going to call this function, and then we're going to put in our numbers. 5 plus 4. So it's going to be 9. So we get the number 9. That is adding. Okay, now we're going to do local function. Hello. Now we're going to learn what returns are. For this, we're going to learn what returning is. So let's see, what do I want to type here? Return. Can I even do that? I'll just make it a variable. Talk. Hello. How are you? Print. How are you? Our talk. Okay, so we're gonna print hello. Basically what returns do are they'll be returning what we want inside the function. So we can't get any information out of this function Because, like, you know, we have these, like, local variables that are to the function, but we can't get the information extracted from this. So what we do is we use things called returns. So what we could do is we could print true, or I mean, we return true, or we can return a variable from this function, so local responding variable equals I am good. And if we return responding variable, we'll see it print. How are you? I am good. That is how a return works. So now we could do things like math. So num1, num2. Local sum equals num1 plus num2. Return sum, and then we'll put in our numbers. We'll put 5 and 4, and then we'll see it equal 9. So there's another thing we could do for number. Looking if I'm missing anything. That's a lot you could do with functions. I'll go into depth more, but I don't really want to go into like too many events. Another thing you can have is, what else could you do? Is there any questions you have for functions? Oh, sorry, I just closed. They need to be explained better. That's kind of like the overall better, or like not even better, like the minimal that you can explain on functions. No questions. Oh, let's see. Parameters, methods. I guess we could do ... No, I don't really want to do that. That's too complex. Like, I don't even like using that stuff. That's kind of it, though. Yeah, there's not really much, like, functions to explain, but they're kind of simple if you look at it, and they're very versatile. That's why I can go, like, this video for, like, hours, but I just wanted to make it, like, a short recap. Or not even a recap, just a short, like, knowledge thing. And then, the homework will be, like, just basic stuff, nothing too crazy. Callback functions that uses two functions. What do you mean? Like function. Hello. Oh, that. Let me see. Let me type that out real quick. Local A equals 5. Local B equals 5. Local function. Multiply. A, B, callback. Local C equals A times B. Callback. C. I never really use callback. I just don't see the purpose for me personally. There's a lot of ways to like walk around. That's why in programming there's like just so much stuff you could do, and you can like avoid so much stuff without even having to worry about it. Okay, multiply function. Oh, why'd you put an end here? Oh, I didn't put it on. I'm stupid. Okay, let's see what this does. A, B, multiply. So you want to multiply and a callback C. Did it actually do anything? Oh. Multiply on it. Oh, why is brick color there? Okay, that's kind of awkward. I didn't see that. I didn't print anything. I'm stupid. Callback C. What even are? I never use callbacks really. Callback. So if I print C, no, if I print result. Okay. That's kind of cool, actually. That's actually cool. So basically how this works is you're calling this function and you have A and B. It's basically a return function. But you're turning that into a function in itself. And I never used something like that. So this is going to call A, B, and then function result. So it's kind of like a meta table in a way, if you think about it. But if you don't know what that is, don't really worry about it. They're like unneeded advanced stuff. But once you get into it, it like compartmentalizes everything. But basically, let's explain it. A, B, function result. So if you really just think about it, I could turn this into multiply. A5, 5, and then you don't really need the callback. You just return C. That's basically what that is. It's just these two multiply into this. That's all it is. And then the function is just the result. So the callback is this function here. So the third parameter that's being fired is callback. So callback is going to be return C. So it runs this function, which is inside of it, which is going to print result. So that's why it prints 25. So it goes this here. So it does this inside. It doesn't do this yet. It puts in the parameters of 5, does that, and then this is the return function. It's not the literal return, but it is a return because it does this function, which is callback, which is this one, and then it does this stuff in here. So that's basically how callbacks work. It's nothing too crazy, but I needed a quick fresh up on it. But that's basically all for the class. I have to go do some cleaning and stuff and some like maintenance. Don't see the point of using that. There is points to everything. It's good to have in your memory because you may eventually use something like that. But all it does is it just waits till it's completed, which is pretty good. There's a bunch of stuff you could do with that. Get pinged somewhere. Am I late? Yeah, GT used to be late, but it doesn't matter. Because I upload the videos. Yeah, but there's a bunch of ways to do things. Some are inefficient, some are efficient. Always be open to different things. Don't be afraid to try something new, because it may lead to like new things when you're learning. That's why I was looking at this. I'm like, I don't really know what this is, so I'll just like type it in and then research it real quickly. And that's how quick you learn. But that's basically all for today.